I hope you're not talking away in mute, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just was trying to live stream.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that, Prabhuji. Yeah, I was just wondering whether we can do the Mangalachan prayer for today.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please.
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशां श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for um, reading this wonderful Mangalachan prayer. So, for the benefit of everyone, this is, I think for the newcomers, we would have told, maybe when they come, we can just. But thank you, Prabhuji. That was really nice. And I will I will go through the Jai Radha Madhava prayer, and then after that, we can just dive into the.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ramlal Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you for joining. Ashwin Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Good to have you back again. And
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. And happy that we have Ramnath Prabhu again joining us back today after the eye surgery Prabhuji had. So, Prabhuji, anything that we want to share before we go with the Krishna Katha, Prabhuji? Anything for us, given that we had Chaitanya?
You're asking me?
Yes, Prabhuji. Anything that to share with the...
No. Just go right ahead. No, just go right ahead. I don't have anything.
Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji, with the permission.
Yeah.
So we were... So just to kind of like, Prabhuji, we were not there. We were just starting off with the chapter number 47. I will just do our offering to Krishna and prayers to Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. As we always mention before we start the Krishna Katha, a beautiful message from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti takrutaha chaktadeham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Where Krishna is saying, one who understands Krishna's leelas, Krishna's appearance, transcendental appearance of Krishna, or even the divine leelas of Krishna, one who even listens. The most important thing is Shravanam. So one who's listening to this divine leelas of Krishna's appearance, Krishna's divine leelas, one who listens to them, once we leave this material world, we will directly go to the Krishna Loka, but will not come back to this material world. So we can understand how auspicious it is to listening to Krishna Katha in the association of Vaishnavas, in the association of senior devotees. It's such a wonderful opportunity for all of us to kind of like take part in this satsang. And it is one of the most important thing to be listening to Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. And that will purify our heart, purify our mind, purify our consciousness. And in that way, we progress on this path of Bhakti Yoga. So here, and talking about Bhakti Yoga, the gopis have shown as part of the Krishna Leela, the highest, the transcendental ecstasy of worship towards Krishna, of loving relationship with Krishna. And these Leelas are so important for us because they give us the knowledge, they give us the message from Krishna that we should always try to understand this divine love of the gopis for Krishna, and try to understand and also follow in the footsteps that to rise above these three gunas. Krishna says, like, we have to rise, because right now in this material world, we are all being controlled by the Prakriti, by these three gunas, Sattva guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. We are constantly under the influence of these three gunas, and that's the reason why we are not able to experience the pure love of Krishna, like how the gopis were. Gopis were on the highest transcendental platform of spiritual consciousness, where they were constantly thinking about Krishna. And for us, that is the kind of lessons that we need to understand. That is the kind of a message that we had to take from the Leelas and the beautiful Leelas of Krishna, when this Krishna book is directly taken from Bhagavatam. So we are so fortunate. Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna, and all the beautiful Leelas of Krishna, as we mentioned in this Krishna book. So we're covering that. And this particular chapter number 47, is about the delivery of message of Krishna to the gopis. So Krishna is sending his most confidential friend and cousin, Uddhava, to just go from Mathura to Vrindavan, to go to the house of Nanda Maharaj, and also to meet all the gopis and just give them this message from Krishna, that Krishna is there in Mathura and very soon he will be coming back to Vrindavan. So as we've seen earlier, Uddhava has gone and met Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Maharaj inquired about Krishna and about his friend Vasudeva, and Uddhava very nicely spoke to him, and then he stayed back in Nanda Maharaj's house. And the next day morning, the gopis, they got a chance to see the chariot of Uddhava, and initially they thought it's Akrura, the person who was actually Krishna's uncle, who had come and taken away Krishna to Mathura. So they were quite annoyed with him. But now they understand in this chapter that actually it was not Akrura, but it was Uddhava, who Krishna's cousin, who has actually come here. And we see from this chapter so many beautiful takeaways that we had is from this chapter about Krishna's dearest cousin Uddhava, who looks so much very similar to Krishna in terms of his bodily features, in the way he dressed up, and all these things. And so they were all wondering, who is this person who's looking? The gopis were wondering, like, when they see Uddhava, who's this person who's looking so much similar like Krishna? And then finally, when they understood that it is not Akrura and it is Uddhava who has come with the message from Krishna, they kind of like take him to a separate place so that they're not in front of everybody. So, and they were asking from there, they're kind of like asking Krishna, like the reason for why he has come to Vrindavan, whether he's come with a message. Maybe it is because Krishna must have sent him to inquire about his parents and not about gopis or anyone else in the Vrindavan village. So that's the kind of a thought process that the gopis are thinking, that why would Krishna send Uddhava to Vrindavan to inquire about the gopis? Because they are just simply thinking he must have come mainly to inquire about Krishna's parents. And so they were having all kind of thought processes going on in the mind, why the reason why he would have come and things like that. And they were comparing Krishna. And at that same time, and then the gopis were actually engaged in speaking to Uddhava, and trying to understand whether Krishna still remembers them, and has Krishna forgotten about the beautiful divine pastimes that Krishna had with the gopis, and so many things, and his relationship with the people of Vrindavan and things like that. So Uddhava understood the gopis of Vrindavan, even though Uddhava was very knowledgeable and he was a student of Brihaspati, in spite of that, Krishna wanted even somebody like Uddhava, who was so knowledgeable, to understand that more important than knowledge is to have that pure love for Krishna, which is what the gopis had. So Krishna was also sending Uddhava for him to have a taste of this devotional love that the gopis had for Krishna, to understand that more than knowledge, it is the love for Krishna. And even if we have this knowledge, that knowledge should help us in developing our love for Krishna. So the ultimate objective is Bhakti Yoga. So that's the reason why we say that even though you have Ashtanga Yoga, even though you have Hatha Yoga, all these different yogas is just to prepare our body, mind, and soul for the actual journey towards bhakti yoga. That's where it should finally take us to. And so here, the Uddhava could get a taste of this transcendental ecstasy that the gopis were going through, and even what Radharani was going through, that even they completely left their family, they left everyone and all that they were interested in Krishna. And here, and also like while the gopis were talking to Uddhava, Srimati Radharani finds a bumblebee. And last time we've seen how a bumblebee looks like. It's like a kind of like a bumblebee is like a mini-sized bee kind of thing, which just lands upon Radharani's feet. And so Radharani starts talking to this bumblebee, just like as if the bumblebee is like a messenger from Krishna. So she's addressing this bumblebee, just as if like the bumblebee has been sent by Krishna to give a message to Radharani. So she was trying to make all kind of comparisons to the bumblebee, saying that this bumblebee is just like the honeybee, which is drinking honey from one flower to another flower, and so she's comparing this bumblebee as a messenger of Krishna. That bumblebee is similar to Krishna. It is accustomed to drinking honey from one flower and is going to another flower, in a way to say that Krishna is enjoyed in Vrindavan, and now he has gone to Mathura, to the city, because Vrindavan is like a village. And the gopis, the Radharani was thinking like, just like Krishna, just like the bumblebee which keeps jumping from one flower to another flower, Krishna has left them from Vrindavan and has gone to Mathura to enjoy the city life and all the girls of Mathura and all that. So that was the kind of a thought process that was going on. And she was making all kind of comparisons with the red color that is there on the bumblebee. She's comparing that with the red color of kunkuma, which is there on the flower garland of Krishna. So she was trying to make all those kind of comparisons, and she was telling like, your Krishna is, she was addressing to the bumblebee. And for devotees who never got a chance, last week we just mentioned about how a bumblebee looks like. So this is what a bumblebee looks like. And this bumblebee lands up on on Radharani's feet. So you can see like, that like it looks like a small kunkuma that is there on this. So she's comparing that kunkuma, this red color, to the kunkuma on that must have landed up on Krishna. So it's a beautiful, wonderful. Again, this is all part of the Leelas. And this whole Leela is to give us an experience of the thought process, or how the gopis and the Radharanis were always constantly absorbed in thinking about Krishna. And because when in the mood of separation from Krishna, because they were missing Krishna so much, that Radharani couldn't think of anything else. So when she's seen the bumblebee, she's addressing the bumblebee as if the bumblebee is a messenger from Krishna, that Krishna has sent this bumblebee. And she's making the comparison that you are a messenger from Krishna, and you are also just like Krishna only. You're just like you're just jumping from one flower to another flower. Krishna is also going from one Vrindavan to another Mathura. And so she's making all kind of comparisons. And according to Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune is also an expansion of Srimati Radharani. So through these leelas also, there are two things, right? One is we get a taste of Krishna's leela, which is like pure nectar. And also that out of these leelas, we also get knowledge. We get to know that even the Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. So we can see like how. And also we know that from Bhagavatam, we also know that Krishna also expands himself as Balaram, right? And again from Balaram, he expands into Sankarsana, and again multiple Vishnus, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So like that, so many expansions are constantly happening over there. So through these leelas, we get to have so much of a knowledge and an appreciation, and it kind of like it, because when we were small, we just heard about some basic things. Oh, Krishna and Radharani, Krishna and Gopi. These are all the things that we heard. But now we are taking our knowledge to the next level in trying to understand, oh my God, this Lakshmi is an expansion. Radharani herself expands as Lakshmi as well. So this is the kind of a knowledge that we can get as well. So Srimati Radharani, she was trying to have a conversation with the bumblebee. Like I said, she was trying to talk to the bumblebee that you are come here to satisfy me, and by just singing the glories of Krishna. So she's considering the bumblebee like a mediator. But she's trying to say that, you're trying to make all the effort to come here on behalf of Krishna, but I know it's a useless exercise because we know very well about Krishna. So Radharani is saying, we know very well about Krishna, and he's always like this. And Krishna is now gone to the city and he's better known as a friend of Arjuna. So she was kind of like giving all these things that don't try to come as a mediator because we know how Krishna is and things like that. And there's no need for the bumblebee to flatter and try to impress that about Krishna because she says that she already knows about Krishna, that he's a big trickster. And so basically, the point Radharani was trying to say is like we can learn from this, right? Because right now it is such an important message for us because if you really look at it, all of us, we are under the grips of the material energy, right? We have so many commitments in our family commitments, our friends commitments, and material opulences and things like that. And which is the reason why we don't get bhakti in our life, right? Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya paharata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadana vidiyate. Where Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita, why we are not getting this love for Krishna is because we have completely filled our consciousness with the desires, material opulences, sense gratification, trying to always make our senses happy. We are always trying to be engaging in material things, material opulences, material things to keep our senses happy. So in that kind of a condition where we have in a material consciousness, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, when you have filled your mind and your heart with so much of material contamination, then you will not get the this thing towards bhakti life. You will not get the taste for bhakti life at all. But again, Krishna also says, Visaya vinavartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopasya param distva nanivartate. But when you get the taste, so even though if I'm thinking like, I should not go and enjoy movies, your mind will always be thinking about movies. But if you replace that by saying that, okay, instead of this movies, now I'm going to have a better taste, a higher taste by listening to beautiful videos of Krishna's Leelas. There's a beautiful videos of Krishna's Leelas and try to know about the deities, the miracles of so many things that are Leelas that have happened about Krishna, about the beautiful temples in Vrindavan. So in that way, if we get a higher taste for Krishna consciousness or try to make beautiful prasadam which can please Krishna, develop a higher taste. In that way, we will be able to go into the platform of spiritual consciousness. Until then, otherwise, we will always be left in these three modes of material nature. We'll always be struggle. And that's the reason why you find like many times, even though if you want to go to the temple, there's so many pulling factors because there's so many things which are coming on the way, which doesn't allow us to think about bhakti at all. So, so here Radharani is trying to tell her, like, they have left their husbands, children, the people of Vrindavan. They were like so much in love with Krishna that even though they had a family, they had children, they had in-laws, they had everyone, but still their mind and hearts were always with Krishna. Either the gopis would go all the way to go and meet Krishna somewhere in the forest, or if they're not able to go and meet Krishna, they would constantly meditate in their mind about Krishna. So in every way, they were always engaging in thinking about Krishna. So here Radharan, this is what he's saying. He's saying that we have left everything and come for Krishna. But what is the kind of response that we are getting? We have put so much of faith in again, and but Krishna is like, he's left our village and he's going now to the material place like Mathura, a city kind of a life, and that's the reason he's completely forgotten about the people of Vrindavan, about the gopis of Vrindavan, and they also know that Krishna he's so beautiful, isn't it? One of the reasons why we call Krishna as Bhagavan is because he is unlimited beauty, unlimited opulences he has. And so here Radharani is telling like his wonderfully enchanting smile is so attractive, and the movements of eyebrows are so beautiful that he can call any woman even from the heavenly planets. So even Mahalakshmi, the greatest of goddess of fortune, is hankering to render some service to Krishna. So she's comparing that, comparing to them. Then so she's saying like we gopis are nothing. Even Mahalakshmi wants to render service to Krishna. So what is in that in comparison to that, we are nothing, kind of thing. So that is where we have come up to. I would request anyone who they would like to read this particular paragraph. Anyone would like to volunteer?
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Can I do it?
Yes, please, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah. Krishna advertised himself as magnanimous, and he is praised by great saints. His qualification would be perfectly utilized if he would only show us some mercy, for we are so much downtrodden and neglected by him. Your poor messenger, you are only a less intelligent servant. You don't know much about Krishna, how ungrateful and hard-hearted he has been, not only in this life, but in his previous lives also. He have, we have all heard this for this from our known. Uh, we heard we have heard this from our grandmother Purnamashi. She has informed us that Krishna was born in a Kshatriya family previous to this birth and was known as Ramachandra. In the okay. Will I do or someone?
Yeah. Please, Prabhuji.
In
I'm just
this birth, yeah,
yeah.
in this birth, instead of killing Bali, an enemy of his friend, in the manner of a Kshatriya, he killed him just like a hunter. A hunter take a secure hiding place and then kills an animal without facing it. So Lord Ramchandra as Kshatriya should have fought with Boli face to face, but instigated by his friend, he killed him from behind a tree. Thus, he deviated from the religious principle of a Kshatriya. He so attracted by the beauty of Sita that he converted Shurpanakha, the sister of Ravana, into an ugly woman by cutting off her nose and ears. Shurpanakha proposed an intimate relationship with him, and as a Kshatriya, he should have satisfied her. But he was so henpecked, and he could not forget Sita Devi and converted Shurpanakha into an ugly woman. Before at this birth as a Kshatriya, he took his birth as a Brahman boy known as Bamonade, and asked charity from Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was so magnanimous that he gave him whatever he had. Yet Krishna as Mamanadev, ungrateful, arrested him just like a crow and pushed him down to the Patala kingdom. He know all, we know all about Krishna and how ungrateful he is. But here is the difficulty. In spite of his being so cruel and hard-hearted, it is very difficult for us to give up talking about him. And it is not only we who are unable to give up this talk, but great saints and saintly persons also engage in talking about him. We gopis of Vrindavan don't mind don't want to make any more friendship with this blackish boy, but we don't know how we shall be able to give up remembering and talking about his activities.
Wonderful. Thank you, Prabhuji. That was wonderful. It's this whole thing actually, it is Radharani who's speaking this entire thing, and that's the reason why quote unquote, we always try to read these paragraphs because it is just directly an expression of Radharani's her emotions at that time, and where she's talking to the bumblebee and kind of like she's explaining about, because she's missing Krishna so much. In that mood of separation from Krishna, she's kind of like so many thought processes were going on her mind, and she's thinking about, like, she's telling the bumblebee, you do not know, if Krishna thinks that he's so magnanimous, then, like, Krishna is being praised by so much by the saints that he's so magnanimous. And Radharani is saying that if he's so magnanimous, then we are expecting, actually, he's supposed to be showing some mercy towards the gopis who have been, because she feels like, they have so much, so desperately waiting for Krishna to come back. And she feels like if Krishna is really so magnanimous, then he should have been reciprocating their love that they had for Krishna but instead of that, she feels like Krishna is neglecting them. So she's kind of like saying, like, you bumblebee, you come as a messenger from Krishna, you do not know, you're very less intelligent, but actually Krishna is very ungrateful because they have heard about some divine pastimes of Krishna in his previous incarnation, avatar as Lord Rama and also as Vaman avatar. So she's giving some examples, because what happens is when we are missing someone so much, so many things come into your mind, some good things, some bad things, and we just want to just blame, and you want to just have all kind of thoughts keep coming in your mind. So here also, just Radharani is just she's just kind of showing her expression that this is what I heard from her grandmother Masi, who's kind of like told about Krishna's previous life and things like that. So this is just an expression to tell us like how much Radharani has been missing us. And as you can see from these leelas, we can get an idea. We can see that how much she's saying, like even the great sages, they always engage in talking about Krishna. And she's saying that gopis of Vrindavan, we do not want to make friendship with Krishna because we shall be able to give up the remembering and talking of. We do not know how we shall give up, because so Radharani is also expressing a helplessness that it is so difficult and it's so impossible that even though she has so many complaints about Krishna that he has forgotten them, and at the same time, Radharani is kind of expressing that it is so difficult to even forget this Krishna, even though she thinks that Krishna is a trickster, Krishna is not magnanimous, he doesn't think about the gopis, and still, in spite of us, she thinks that it is very difficult to give up remembering and talking about Krishna. So this reminds me that about in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells in chapter number 10, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajati priti purvakam. No, not Machchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanti Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha, where the sloka says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully dedicated to my service, devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss by always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So you see, Krishna here is giving a definition of his pure devotees, that they're always thinking about Krishna. So that is why I always say that Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he has explained about all the different kind of yogas, and he has explained about beautiful opulences of Krishna. In fact, the one which I just now quoted, it is part of the Chatusloka, which is the four important slokas which kind of like summarize the whole of Bhagavad Gita, which is what I have just now mentioned. And in that, it is mentioned the way Krishna is saying that his devotees are always thinking about Krishna. And this is chapter number 10, which is called as Vibhuti Yoga. And Krishna is telling that his devotees are always thinking about me. And sometimes when we read the Bhagavad Gita slokas, and we keep thinking, well, how do I understand this sloka? How do I understand this sloka? Give me some example. When Krishna says, the thought of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, they're deriving great satisfaction and bliss by always enlightening and one talking about me. What does Krishna mention? What does Krishna mean by this sloka in Bhagavad Gita? Can you give me some example? So those examples is what we can find in this Krishna Katha in Srimad Bhagavatam. So you see, Bhagavad Gita is spoken from the lips of Krishna, And what he's trying to explain in Bhagavad Gita, the practical application of that Bhagavad Gita, we find in this Krishna, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the form of these beautiful Leelas of Krishna. And we find in this 10th canto, which is now we are seeing in the form of KrishnaBook, where we can see that this is exactly what Krishna has been mentioning in Bhagavad Gita in the Vibhuti Yoga, chapter number 10, is what the gopis are doing. They were always thinking about Krishna 24/7, 24/7. They were always thinking, and this is exactly what this is all about. We are unable to give up his talk, and great sages and saintly saints are always engaging in talking about him, right? Madchita, Madgata, Pranam, Bodhiyante, Parasparam. They're always thinking about Krishna. And this is exactly what she's saying. And we are not able to stop thinking about Krishna. Even though she has complaints about Krishna, she's saying, I do not know how we can stop remembering and talking about Krishna. So that is a beautiful essence from this paragraph. And Krishna Leelas are so beautiful that every paragraph also we can have some beautiful essences that we can take away. Can I request anyone else if you can just read this paragraph as well? Any of our devotees?
Can I?
Yes, Prabhu, please. Yes. Ajay Prabhu, go ahead.
Yeah. Since Krishna is absolute, his so-called unkind activities are as realizable as his kind activities. Therefore, saintly persons and great devotees like the gopis cannot give up Krishna in any circumstances. Lord Chaitanya therefore prayed, Krishna, you are free and independent in all respects. You can either embrace me or crush me under your feet, whatever you like. You may make me broken-hearted by not letting me see you throughout my whole life, but you are my only object of love.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ajay Prabhu. Anyone else would want to read this one? Sirisha ji, Kishan ji, Hare Krishna Kishan ji, Anil Prabhu, and anyone else who want to just...
Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Prabhuji. Mataji, please.
Okay.
Mataji, please.
Okay. In my opinion, Srimati Radharani continued, one should not hear about Krishna because as soon as a drop of the nectar of his transcendental activities is poured into the air, one immediately rises about the duality of attraction and rejection. Being completely freed from the contamination of material attachment, one gives up attachment for this material world, including family, home, wife, children, and everything else materially dear to every person. Being deprived of all material acquisitions, one makes his relatives and himself unhappy. Then he wanders in search of Krishna, either as a human being or in other species of life, even as a bird, as voluntarily accepts the profession of a mendicant. It is very difficult to actually understand Krishna, his name, his qualities, his form, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, and his entourage.
Wonderful.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna, Sita Sundari Mataji. So happy to hear you recite. Just one more paragraph. Anyone wants to take the opportunity to just read? Sirisha ji, would you like to read? Kishan ji?
Yes, I'll read it.
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. I'm looking in the mobile also a little.
Oh, yeah. I'm highlighting it.
Yeah. Srimati Radharani continued to speak to the black passenger of Krishna. Please do not talk any more about Krishna. It is better to talk about something else. We are already doomed like the black-spotted she-deer in the forest who are enchanted by the sweet musical vibration of the hunter. In the same way, we have been enchanted by the sweet words of Krishna, and by thinking of the rays of his toenails again and again, we are becoming more and more lusty for his association. Therefore, I request you not to talk of Krishna anymore.
Wonderful. That was very nice, Suresha ji. Thank you for
Hare
reading.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So just, yeah, so I just wanted to summarize these ones, like, so here, as you can see over here, Krishna is completely absolute, and it is so important for us to understand that, anything, when we say absolute truth, Krishna, we say that seeing Krishna in person, or seeing the deity form of Krishna, or chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or reading the Bhagavad Gita, and reading the divine Leelas of Krishna, everything is on the same transcendental platform. So whatever Krishna does, whether Krishna is having the engaging in beautiful Leelas with his devotees, or whether Krishna is dealing with the killing the demonic kings like Kamsa, each and every activity of Krishna is on the same spiritual platform. And it is always so relatable to understand any kind of a Leelas of Krishna. And here we can understand from Radharani's language and the way she has spoken is that it is difficult, once we get a taste of Krishna, for us to stop thinking about giving up Krishna in any circumstances. You can see that, you can really experience when you go to Krishna temple, and we see whether you see it in Manor, or we see it in Central London Temple, the devotees, they're always flocking and just looking forward to the weekend, how we can go to Krishna temple and how we can go and serve Krishna. And Prabhupada so nicely puts it that we can only relish Krishna, relish this loving relationship with Krishna by serving Krishna. That's the reason why in ISKCON, in Hare Krishna movement, we always say, we don't say devotion, we say devotional service. That when we are serving Krishna, that is when we can enjoy the love and the nectar of Krishna. So here you find, like, the gopis they're always engaging in serving Krishna. They're always thinking of Krishna. They're already spending time with Krishna. Just like how we are always chanting the names of Krishna and thinking about Krishna, the gopis are also, they're unable to give up thinking about Krishna under any circumstances. And that is the kind of a love that Krishna wants. Krishna wants us, says in Bhagavad Gita, that people, like, unfailing in all circumstances, that you're always thinking, if there is a bad situation over there also, we think, Krishna, you're so merciful that maybe something more bad was meant to happen, but you're being so kind that you just put me in this kind of situation. If there is something nice that happens, we are again praying to Krishna, Krishna, you're so merciful that you've given me such a wonderful thing. So for everything, we're putting Krishna in the center of our lives. So here, in Krishna Bhagavan tells in Bhagavad Gita, and I'll tell you again the link from Krishna Bhagavad Gita to Krishna book. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says finally in chapter number 18, verse number 66, what does he say? His final signature statement, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja aham sarva papebhyo mokshayisyami ma suchaha, where Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall protect you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Yeah. So Krishna says, surrender to Krishna and don't be, completely leave all the other dharmas. Just focus on surrendering to Krishna. And Krishna is promising that in return, when you surrender Krishna, he's saying that I will protect you from all kind of sinful reactions. Don't worry about it. So many bad things you had done in so many lifetimes. The reactions we will have to suffer or enjoy in this life. But Krishna is saying, I will protect you from all those kind of sinful reactions. You don't need to fear. But here, from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so important, because when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as for the devotees who are newly joining in, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna and Radha and Krishna coming together in the form of a devotee called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Radha and Krishna in Kali Yuga appear in the form of a devotee called Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's this thing? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Radha and Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani. Always he comes as a devotee, always praying to Krishna. Krishna is always like he's missing Krishna so much. He's always wanting to be with Krishna. So even though Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came as a devotee, in the form of a devotee, he's none other than Radha and Krishna combined together, but in the mood of Radharani. So here, this is the kind of a prayer that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, and we can learn from this, where what is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying? Krishna, you are free and independent in all respect. You can embrace me, you can crush me, you can do whatever you like and make me broken-hearted. You can do anything with my life. But for me, I don't have any choice, Krishna. Krishna, you have a choice. You can accept me or you can reject me. You can give me something which I want, or you can reject me. You can do everything, Krishna. You can crush me under feet also. You have a choice to do whatever you like with me. But for me, I don't have any other choice. Your lotus feet is my only choice. You are my only object. So this is the kind of a mood that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling us. And this is the mood of surrender that we all should have. Like, we are always kind of like praying to Krishna that Krishna, you have a choice. You can reject me or you can accept me, but I don't have any choice. My only choice is your lotus feet. I'm not going to leave your lotus feet. Just like the position of Draupadi, right? When Draupadi, when she was being humiliated in the Maya Sabha, and she looked at her husbands, she looked at the Pandavas. Maybe they will save her. Pandavas were not saving, they were unable to even, they were not even coming forward to save her. She looked at Bhishma Pitamaha and every Krishna. They were not able to save. Bhishma, Pitama, Drona, everybody, Dronacharya, everybody were there. Even they were so helpless. And finally, then she lifted her hand up to Krishna. And then she sang this beautiful prayer. Shanka Chakra Gadadara Pani Dwaraka Nilaya Achyuta Govinda Pundari Kaksha Rakshamam Sharanam Gati Govinda Pundari Kaksha Rakshamam Sharanam Gati. See, when Draupadi first, she was thinking, she was holding on to her sari. Maybe she's thinking that I can protect myself. Then she knows that it's impossible to do that. She looks at her husbands. Then she looks at all the elders. And finally, she's calling up to Krishna. So this is our situation also. We are always thinking that we can save ourselves. Then we look at all the people around us. Maybe they will save us. But ultimately, we can know these leelas are so important that through these leelas we can understand that in all kind of a difficult circumstances that we should depend on Krishna. And Krishna is, through these leelas, he's telling that yes, if you surrender to me, I just like the way I protected Draupadi in the Maya Sabha from being humiliated, and just like the way when Arjuna was in so much of distress before the battlefield, where he was praying to Krishna, when he was so much confused, and finally he surrendered to Krishna. And wow, beautiful prayer that he did. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prachyama tvam dharma sammura chetaha yashreya nishitan bruhatan me shisyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. Where Arjuna finally he gave up. He said, Krishna, from now on, I'm not asking you as your friend. I'm no more your friend. I'm asking you as your disciple. You are my guru. Krishna, please kindly instruct me what is the right thing for me to do. I am totally confused, Krishna. My body is shaking. My Gandhava, I have lost my grip on my Gandhava, my bow and arrow. So I just, in this situation, Krishna, I'm so helpless. Please kindly instruct me what is the right thing to do. And that is the turning point of Bhagavad Gita, right? From there, Krishna starts explaining the whole of Bhagavad Gita. So we have to understand that through these messages of surrender, like seeing Draupadi and seeing Arjuna also, like how they were so much dependent on Krishna, and finally Krishna reciprocated. He says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. According to your level of surrender, I will also reciprocate accordingly. So this is what is very important for us to understand. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as a devotee to give us this message that this is the kind of a surrender that we should have about to Krishna. So here you can see that they have left everything. The gopis, they're saying that, I don't want to, because she's saying like it's better not to hear about Krishna, because Radharani knows the moment you hear about this Krishna, it is so purifying to your heart and to your mind that you will be ready to give away everything in your life. So so through the gopis, we can understand the gopis are ready to leave the husbands, they're ready to leave their in-laws, they're ready to leave the children, everything just because they wanted to be Krishna. That's why Radharani is saying one should not hear about Krishna, because if you hear about Krishna, you will become so much absorbed in love with Krishna that you don't want to give anything else. You just want to have Krishna only. And that's the reason why, because of this kind of a bhava, this kind of a love that Gopis has, Krishna is saying, I cannot repay the kind of a love that you have. Krishna feels so overwhelmed with the kind of love that the gopis are having. So here he's saying, Radharani is giving us this idea that when you hear about, better not hear about Krishna, because if you hear about Krishna, you'll become so much in love that you leave all your family, everything, and you will run like you. And we've seen this from an example, right? What is the example here? He says he wanders in search of Krishna, either as a human being or as a bird in the or in the profession or mendicant. So we have the 6 gopis of Vrindavan, right? These 6 Goswamis. These 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they were all well-to-do, and finally they left everything, and they went and been in Vrindavan, and they were serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this instruction to the 6 gopis to go, and we are so fortunate because of these these Goswamis of Vrindavan. They have went, and on the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they went to Vrindavan, then they unearthed all the places, these ancient places of Krishna's Nanda Bhavan, and Krishna's divine Leelas, wherever the Radha Kund, Sham Kund, all these divine places of Vrindavan. The 6 Goswamis, on the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they went to Vrindavan and unearthed all these places. So today, you're so fortunate because when you go to Vrindavan, you can see all the divine places of Krishna. If you take one of the ISKCON monks, they will tell you this is where Krishna was playing, this is the Radha Kund, this is the Sham Kund, this is exactly where Krishna and Balaram came and had their lunch. All these things, these 6 Goswamis went and unearthed all these places. So we are extremely grateful actually to these 6 Goswamis. And they left everything, even though they had so much of money and wealth and everything, they left everything because they got a higher taste. And this is the reason why in the beginning I was saying, Vesaya Vini, where Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vesaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasavarjam Rasopasna Param Drishta Nivartate. When you get a higher taste of Krishna's Leelas, Krishna Prasadam, then you will lose the interest in all the small ordinary things because you're feeling so joyful in these things. So here, this is what she was trying to say, like, when you get a love of Krishna and all these things, you will lose all this material, because these material attachments are these, like the 3 gunas, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna. These are the 3 ropes which are constantly pulling us towards material life. But actually, we are all stuck up in a well. But if you have to come out of this well, we have to hang on to this rope of Bhakti Yoga and this devotional love towards Krishna. And that's the only thing that can save us from coming out of this material world and go back to Krishna Loka. So Srimati Radharani, she's continues to speaking to this bumblebee, like whom she's considering as a messenger of Krishna. She's telling, please do not talk about anything about Krishna anymore. It's better not to talk about Krishna. And she's comparing this Krishna, like this love for Krishna, that like a deer in the forest who's getting enchanted by a trap of a hunter. She goes and listening to this beautiful music, she gets trapped, and the hunter goes and shoots the deer. So in this way, she feel like, we are getting trapped by this, and by this love, or by the sweet words of Krishna. So she's saying, like, I don't want to talk about Krishna anymore. So here, through these leelas, we can see how beautiful the baba of that, or Radharani. So that's why we can see how here the talks of Radharani with the bumblebee messenger, accusing Krishna in so many ways. It's and her inability to stop talking about Krishna, because when you fall in love with Krishna, it is the topmost transcendental ecstasy. That is why we call it as the love that Radharani had for Krishna is the topmost transcendental ecstasy called Mahabhava. The ecstatic Mahabhava manifestation is possible only in the persons of Radharani and her associates. Only the gopis and Radharanis, they are enjoying this kind of highest bhava of Krishna Prema. And that's why these great acharyas like Rupa Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti, they analyze these Mahabhava speeches of Srimati Radharani, and so they were able to understand through these leelas these are the signs of Ujjvala Rasa, or the brightest jewel of love of God. So you can see, right, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that the topmost yoga is Bhakti Yoga. And here in Krishna Katha, we can see from the beautiful leelas or the dealings of Radharani and Gopikas about how much they were absorbed in thinking about, and the highest transcendental ecstasy or the love or Mahabhava they had for Krishna Bhagwan. So I just wanted to stop over here to take any realizations or any comments or anything else, or any corrections, anything else at all. Anyone has anything to comment, anything on that?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So this Krishna's pastimes, Atma Ramas, who are free from all material things, they hear all these things and they derive so much of pleasure. Atma Ramasya Manyo Nirgrindapi Urukrami Kurvante Kim Bhakti Mittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. So this is like Sukadev Goswami, like transcendentalist. They hear this kind of Krishna's pastimes with gopis, and they enjoy Kurvante Kim Bhakti Mittam Bhuta Guno Hari. Very beautifully they enjoy. Otherwise, anything else which is apart from Krishna Katha, it is mentioned like a place of pleasure for the crows. Nayadvachitra padam hare resho bhagvat jagat pavitram pragnihita karichet tadvayam tiddam mushintya manasa nayatra hamsa niramanti usakshayaha. Paramahamsas, they don't take pleasure in the places where crows take pleasure. So wherever Krishna Katha is going on, that is most auspicious. That is where Paramahamsas take pleasure hearing a Krishna Katha. Everything else which is not Krishna Katha, it is Tadvaisam Tirtham. Vais Tirtham is the place of crows. The crows, they take pleasure in the filthy places, which is not Krishna Katha. Thank you so much, Prabhu. It is very enlightening to the heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. There can't be a better way of summarizing about the nectar, the pure nectar of listening to Krishna Katha. This is Shravanam is the most important thing. Hearing is the only way we can see God is by hearing about God. And this is the way we can have the realization, something which can purify our mind and our consciousness. So these things are very, very important. This is how we can engage in spiritual consciousness by hearing about Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Ramnath Prabhuji, anything to add to the comments?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you again, of course, for a wonderful Krishna. This part of the 10th, she's feeling these very, very exalted stages of Haba that we can only know, but can't really understand. She's having a conversation with the bumblebee, but she's having one. and
For some reason, I think there seems to be like having some audio issues for Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji's come back. Yeah, Ramnath Prabhuji is coming back.
Did I go out for a minute?
Yes, Prabhuji, we couldn't hear you. You were breaking up a bit. So sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my connection. It's not very good. Right. Anyway, I was just trying to describe this relationship. It's almost as if the bumblebee is like a close friend, and she's expressing all these inner emotions that she has with Krishna. How she loves Krishna, at the same time she feels this kind of hatred, but even in that hatred, as they say, please don't talk. The bee's not talking. She's talking to the bee. So, from a material analysis, it's a kind of schizophrenia in the sense this intimacy with Krishna or the servants of Krishna constantly. That's what the Bhagavatam is teaching us. This is the ultimate goal, to develop that love so that
the connection has been a bit bad. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I keep going out.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you hear me again?
The audio has been bad actually too. Yeah. Now we can hear you, Prabhuji. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's just a fascinating part of the Bhagavatam. I've always loved this part of the Bhagavatam of Radharani having the conversation with the bumblebee. and actual Krishna consciousness is actually all about. Very hard to comprehend, but that's actually what Lord Chaitanya, what the Goswamis, they were related to everything as an impetus for remembering Krishna and having a conversation to do with the deity. We go into the temple.
Such a beautiful message, actually, Prabhuji was giving about having this conversation that we should have the similar, just when we go into the temple, we should have this conversation with the deity and have that loving relationship when we see in the temple. Prabhuji, sorry, we just missed. I was just trying to interpret what you were about. I think you were mentioning about that we have, just like how Radharani is talking to the bumblebee, taking it as a messenger from Krishna. And we should also have this interactive thing, like when we are going to do deity worship in the temple, right, Prabhuji?
We can, not in an artificial sahaja way, but we can try and develop a kind of a consciousness connection, talking maybe not outwardly, but internally with the deity.
Yes.
And this is what daily deity worship should bring us to, where we have this connection with the deity, connection with Krishna in the deity form. So, of course, it has to be done under proper guidance, practices of sadhana, vaidhi, bhakti rules and regulations. But obviously, Radharani here has gone way off the charts and is having a kind of schizophrenic conversation with a bumblebee. Not that we imitate, but we just look at it in kind of awe and reverence.
Yes.
That she's having this conversation as it manifests. And we can relish that.
Yes. Definitely, Prabhuji. Wonderful insights, Prabhuji. And I want to just tell to all the devotees who have just joined us for the first time, or maybe recently who have we met in manner. So Ramnath Prabhuji is a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master. So we are extremely grateful and to have his wonderful insights. And Ramnath Prabhuji serves in the Radha Londoneshwar temple, and we always been giving us this association, and which is such an important thing for the satsang. It is so important to have the insights or association of senior devotees, and we can't be more fortunate than this to have the association of Ramnath Prabhuji always guiding and giving us this nectar, and been practicing for Krishna consciousness for so many decades.
And you say that all the time, Shyam, but actually it's my good fortune to have this association of a nice group of devotees talking Krishna Katha, and your leading of it, I really like. So that's my good fortune.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That's your humility, and we had to follow in your footsteps. And I want to thank the new devotees, Hina Mataji, Sirisha ji, Ajay ji, Ashwin, and Kishan ji, and Paritosh Prabhu, Ajay Prabhu. And we all met in manner, Prabhuji, and all of them, they came forward when I was giving the Krishna talk, Gita talk, and came forward and said, like, yeah, we want to just be part of the satsang. And I can't thank them enough. Like, they're taking the next step of bhakti life and to be part of the satsang and try to know more about Krishna consciousness. And I think it's so important because we are so fortunate to be part of this Sanatan Dharma. And we have so much of ocean of knowledge. We have chanting, we have deity worship, we have Guru Parampara, we have everything. And all we have to do is kirtana. And all we have to do is just engage ourselves in the satsang, and we'll get so much of knowledge and so much of love towards Krishna by being in the satsang. Very, very important part of life.
I mean, if I could just jump in, I mean, so much of our advancement in Krishna consciousness, our realizations in Krishna consciousness, they come in the association of devotees who are sincerely practicing. And this small little group, I mean, I really, really enjoy what's happening with it, because it's just reading from Prabhupada's books, reflecting on it, thinking about what the Bhagavatam is communicating, and in the association of devotees, then we can really get a taste. Our realizations will grow by leaps and bounds. Krishna consciousness, we have to understand, yes, we practice along certain practices, but in the association of devotees, that's when things really start clicking, making sense, and we understand more and more what actual Krishna bhakti is about, and we can relish it.
Absolutely.
So just listening to the KrishnaBook reading It's association of devotees.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us wonderful insights, and always it's been such an inspiration. I'm sure everybody would feel inspired as well and to take your message. And yeah, I would request everyone, Ajay Prabhu, Sirisha ji, Kishan ji, everyone, please try to be come for the satsang. There's so much we can share with you, and so much we have our senior devotees also been for in the moment for a while, so can always share. And even we had Amoga Prabhu as well. So like that, we please keep coming in so that we can share this. Can I request anyone who can do Narsinga prayer, Prabhuji? Anyone would like to? Whoever is fine to do the Narasimha prayer. We'll close with the Narasimha prayer for the protection of all of us and our families. And with the kind of a world that we are living in currently, it is so important for us. Okay.
You can do it. You can do it, Tom.
Maybe.
You can do it, Tom.
Okay. Did somebody say anything? Oh, sorry.
I said, Sham, you can do it.
Okay. I'll sing, and I'll just put the lyrics for it so everybody can see.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just maybe Hare Krishna Prabhuji, maybe
Yes.
Amak Prabhu want to show something.
Yes.
And, just requesting Sita Sundari Mataji could sing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Mataji, if you're okay.
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna.
Okay. I'll just put the lyrics so everybody can see like what we're singing. Yeah. Please go ahead, Mataji. You can go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Namaste, Narasimha.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Dodai. Prahlad Dodai. Hiranyakashipur Bhaksha Shila Tankanakhalaye Ito Nisimha Parato Nisimha Yato Yami Tato Nisimha Bohir Nisimha Hridaye Nisimha Nisimha Madim Sharanam Prapade Tabo Kara Kamala Bhare Rakham Abhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhingam Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nishinhadev 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 Jaya Nishinhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নৃসিংহদেব ভগবান কি
Jai.
Jai.
Very good.
প্রহ্লাদ মহারাজ কি
Jai.
সমবেত
Jai.
ভক্তবৃন্দ
Hare Krishna.
কি
Jai.
So for all
হরে
the
কৃষ্ণ
Hare Krishna Mataji, that was wonderful. It was beautiful singing Narasimha prayer. And it is so important, like, we see in the temple also, we singing this song after we sing the Aarti. And for devotees who are never got a chance just to listen about this Narasimha prayer, this is a beautiful prayer. And as you can see over here, offering obeisances to Lord Narasimha, who gives joy to Prahlad Maharaj and whose nails are like chisels on the stone, like a chest, on stone like chest of demon Hiranyakashipu. As you all know, Narasimha, he appears in order to put an end to this demonic Hiranyakashipu. So it's a beautiful prayer telling like Lord Narasimha is here and he's also there. And wherever I go, Lord Narasimha is there and he's in the hearts and inside and outside. And when I surrender to Narasimha, the origin of all the things. And so it's a beautiful prayer of surrender to Narasimha Dev Bhagwan, who are one of the incarnations of Krishna and in the half law and half man, and just glorifying and asking us to give protection for all of us. And so it's a wonderul prayer. So when we should do this towards the end, so that for the protection of all of us and protection of our devotees, of our family as well. So I just wanted to end over here. I want to thank everyone once again, Hina ji, Pratish Prabhu, all of you who have taken your time. In spite of your busy schedule, you took your time to listen to Krishna Katha. Amoga Prabhu, Nagaraj Prabhu, Ramlila Prabhu, Kishan ji, Ashwin ji, Hina ji, Shirisha ji,
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare
and Ajay
Krishna.
ji. That was really nice of all of you. In spite of your
Krishna.
busy schedule, you took time for this. Appreciate it. And we will all come back again. I'm just thinking of ideas of how we can just add more nectar. And so this is what we will going to be doing every Thursday. We'll do the Mangalacharyan prayer. We will have some insight from our senior devotees. We will talk about KrishnaBook, which is from Bhagavatam. And then we'll add the Narasimha prayer. And if there's anything else, any good suggestions, we can always come forward and we can just add it to make it more relishing for our devotees. And so, yeah, if you look forward to this, and as always, we will be sharing a lot of things about Bhagavad Gita verses and everything on Bhagavad Gita WhatsApp group. And we'll be sharing anything about Bhagavad Gita and as well about chanting and things like that. So next week, I want to also share maybe a presentation on chanting and Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga as well, so that just for our devotees, just to add more nectar to our thing. So the whole focus is on Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So that's what we want to just engage our devotees more on. So thank you everyone for your wonderful association. I feel so happy and blessed that I have all of your association today. And I look forward to, again, continuing sharing on Bhagavad Gita WhatsApp group, as well as coming back on Thursday and have all of your association again and continue this Krishna Katha again. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sham. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We have
Hare
to,
Bol.
together we have to say Hari Bol to Sham Prabhu. Okay.
Yeah, Haribol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hare
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you so much.
Hare Bol.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Krishna
sindhubhya
Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanang Pavanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavai Namo Namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna
Hare
everyone.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
And so tomorrow morning also chanting. So from the announcements point of view, some devotees would like to join for chanting japa sessions in case at 5:30 a.m. So
Yeah.
in case if the devotees are interested to see just a trial sessions for japa, and then there is a Bhagavatam at 6:30 a.m.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for announcing. And it's the same Zoom group. You can use
Yes.
the Zoom link and just join. Yeah, in case if you're.
Yeah, Sirisha Mataji joined, but
that's
it was
nice.
a bit late
Oh,
yesterday.
that's nice. That's really nice. That's really nice, Risha ji, taking the initiative. Really
Yeah, I joined it a bit late. I think so. I
Yeah.
saw the darshan at the time, and japa is over.
Oh,
I-
no problem. I mean, it's always every day, See, that's the
Yeah.
beauty about this satsang that we're having. we have listed the entire list of all the programs. So you can morning Japa session, you can join. Saturday Bhagavad Gita, you can join. Thursday Krishna Katha, you can join. So we have so many programs here throughout the week. So make use of them, and this is how we can make friends with so many devotees. And in a short time, you'll get to know, like, well, we have made so many devotee friends also now. So so it's
Yes,
always,
and also devotees, they go to the temple for the service. They're making samasas and coming together. That is most auspicious. That is serving to the Lord in the temple.
Absolutely.
So, Amok Prabhuji, how if I want to do the service, do I need to like enroll for it?
So here, our devotees like Sanchita Mataji and Mampi Mataji and Sita Sundari Mataji. So they all go, and Usha Mataji, Meena Mataji, they all go for service in the temple on Saturday, Sunday. So when we are in the Sangha in the morning, Japa sessions, we talk on those services, who are joining, such kind of announcements in the mornings, every day morning, and devotees share what kind of service is available for our Sangha. So we represent Aksabraji Gaura Sangha in the temple. As a Sangha, we go there.
Okay. Thank you.
So as part of, when we go individually, we also take part, but as when we are representing the Sangha, then it is more recognized. Okay, this devotee is coming from this Sangha, like that.
And Sirisha ji, I'm always there every Saturday in case if you need any support or any help, like just let me know. And now I'm there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm always there every Saturday. So yeah, if you need any help.
Only thing as a side, I have untimely classes which I teach all over world. So that is the only thing I could not. Today also I joined a bit late because of my class. To take New York class. So.
That's really nice. That's really nice, so that you are doing so much of good service and still taking time to join us as well. I feel very honored, actually. It's really nice that you took some time for joining the satsang to listen to Krishna Katha. It's, I think, Krishna's mercy. That's what he wants. Krishna wants you to be part of the satsang.
That's what I want to get enroll into this kind of into the Krishna Bhakti. Finally, I got a path. Which I'm very feeling very blessed.
Yeah, very, very much. You will realize, actually, Sirisha ji, like how you will be able to grow and so much. We're just in the beginning. We are just sharing now, but as we progress, you can see like so much devotees association. As Prabhuji was saying, so many Matajis are serving. You can go and join them like that. You can develop so much of a nice spiritual association. For Hina ji also, like we would say, just be part of the satsang, and slowly we'll get to know all the devotees, and then you will yourself find, okay, this is the perfect path I'm taking, and you're making so many spiritual friends, and they will guide you. Krishna will, yeah.
When I teach bhajans and all, Krishna bhajans, Rama bhajans, so I feel so like I feel in a different world, but still I wanted to go depth in, as I said in the previous satsang also. Want to know more about, as I said, I'm a classical singer. But yeah, so I feel so good when I listen to all these things and more. Even when I teach to my students, I'll explain the meaning of each kirtana. So this is the meaning. Then only they can understand. So now the Bhagavad Gita, when I'm understanding each and every word, what does it mean? I'm feeling so good, actually, rather than just reading.
So nice to hear about your realizations, Sirisha ji. Yeah, please keep, let's keep coming to the Sangha, and we can have so much of, you will have takeaways on this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita as well as from Krishna Katha. You are in the right place and right Sangha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Hare Krishna, Sirisha Mataji, if you could drop your number, so that when there is a Sangha, we would also request you like to sing in our as a kirtan in our Sangha on Saturday Sangha. That would be wonderful. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm blessed. I'll send my number.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a
Thank you, Mataji.
thoughtful, Prabhuji. Very nice. Yeah, this is how we develop association, and we get to know more of our devotees as well. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.